Right, let's go then. So I've got my cup of tea and just working on clearing up the kitchen, a little bit of a reset. And it, as predicted, it has turned out to be a gorgeous first day of March. So Mark is out this afternoon. So all in all, it will be not a great deal in the garden, but if I can get out there maybe a few times during the day, then we'll crack on. I'm also hoping that we do have a few days worth of dry, because we've got quite a lot of boundary fence around the property, and I'm going to say it's probably been at least 7 years since we repainted the fence, so we've got a lot of work to do. Also, some of the fences are also double-sided because they're against the roads. We need to do the other side as well. Oh, look who's here.
Is that right?
Yeah, thank you.
Is that right?
Morning, Mark.
Good morning.
So that's a lot of boundary fence, double-sided, to work on. Also, the fence part along our driveway is like a lattice work as well. So although technically it's less paint to be used, it takes longer because it's fiddly. I like it because it makes the garden feel more open, and also the cats use it as little like cat flaps to get through the fence. But I'd really love ideally one of those woven wicker fences, but that's living in a dream fantasy land. But if I keep on telling myself it, we'll get it eventually. So I'm going to carry on with the kitchen and hopefully we'll get a little bit of gardening done. And if we get enough done, hopefully we might also have a little trip out somewhere, as the weather is so lovely today.
What? Right, okay, fine. Put that down there.
like what I see and I see what I like.
Right, like an old bald man carving.
You got the reference, though. Yeah, come on, I haven't watched Kath and Kim in like a few weeks, so...
Few weeks. Oh, blimey, love.
So we've dug all the way along, taken the weeds out, left that bit of moss. I think that might be Spanish bluebells. And then dug all the way along to the outer wall. Fortunately, some of the borders are rotting, so Mark's just dug down a bit and we've taken that board out so that we can look at getting that fixed. So this is how far I am with my Cluedo quilt. I've done about a third of the patchwork, and that's about 3 rooms. So on the left I've got the kitchen, and then in the middle the ballroom, and on the right the conservatory. With the success from last week's bread recipe, I was talking to a friend at work, and she suggested that it might make quite a nice focaccia style type bread. So I thought I'd give it a go. So we start off in exactly the same way. We use 4 cups of lukewarm water, and then to that we add 2 teaspoons of sugar and let that dissolve. And then we top the water with 2 teaspoons of dry yeast and let that sit for 10 to 15 minutes until small bubbles appear on the surface. While that's taking place, I'm going to weigh out strong white bread flour. 500 grams should do it. And then we're also going to add in a good sprinkling of salt. When our wet mixture is ready, we just tip that straight into the flour and give that a good mix until it's all combined. That doesn't take long at all. And then we'll need to get that covered, rest it in a warm place for 1.5 to 2 hours until it's doubled in size. So for this week, mine only took an hour and a half. It didn't take long at all to rise. Then I've used a large baking sheet with covered in olive oil to get the focaccia taste to it, and to try and prevent it sticking as much as possible. So I've got oil in my pan, and then I'm also going to drizzle some olive oil over the top so that I can add my toppings and just prevent it from sticking as best as possible. Because the dough was quite a wet mixture, it was a little bit tricky to get out of the bowl, but the oil did help with that. So once I've got it all in the tray, I'm going to top that with a little bit of olive oil, and then I'm using some dried rosemary, as I didn't have any fresh, and also some black olives just to make it that more authentic flavour, even though this is by far not an authentic focaccia recipe. So when I've got all the toppings on, the dough will need to rest again, this time for 10 to 20 minutes until it's doubled in size in a warm place. And this time the dough does not want to be covered while it's resting. Then needs to go into a hot oven at 220 for about 15 minutes, and then we turn this down to continue cooking. Now the original recipe I had said for another 15 minutes, but because I think this was a thin loaf, it didn't need quite that long. There was a little bit of sticking, but overall I'm really pleased in how it's turned out. You're after some bread. Help yourself then.
I cut it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. And it's probably quite hot. Don't burn yourself.
No, it's not hot.
It's just come out of the oven.
No, it's not hot.
I know you've had a few drinkies, but just because you've had a few, is it actually okay?
It's fine.
I'm gonna try a bit now.
Lovely.
I'm gonna try a bit. Yeah, I mean it looks quite nice. Evening everyone. So it is now about 9:15. To keep my voice down, because Mark is asleep. Was supposed to be taking me out for a drink tonight, but I think he had a few too many when he was out earlier at the pub. So after I picked him up, we watched Gladiators on catch up and had dinner, and he's gone straight to bed. You might even be able to vaguely hear him in the background. So as I'm not getting my drink this evening, I've decided to carry on with my quilt for a little bit. I'll give you a catch up on where I am with it. I'm still working on the patchwork part of it. I split my design up into 9 squares, and each time I sit down I try and complete a section, which is a chunk, so it has to be several hours at a time. And there is the occasional unpicking. I've got my trusty unpicker here, which is being well used, just because I want to try and get particularly the wall parts of the cluedo board as straight as possible. It's not as easy as it looks. I don't expect it to be perfect by any means, because I'm still a beginner for quilting, but essentially I don't want to look at it and be disappointed. Good morning and welcome to Sunday. While Mark's having a lie-in, I'm going to continue with my crochet project. It's going to be a lazy day today, so this is the perfect way to start the day. So Mark, just explain to us what you're doing there with your potatoes.
Sticking them in egg boxes. I'm waiting for them to hatch.
What, so they sprout?
Yeah.
So what will that take, a few weeks or something?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we're going to try planting some, well, Mark wanted potatoes. So we've saved an old egg box and we're going to try. Do we need another egg box? You've got a lot of potatoes left over.
Probably.
Yeah.
I've got nothing here. Let's just go and get this stuff in.
So maybe we need wood. Well, we could always look in the garage for wood, or we can go to B&Q at some point, or I can get it.
Yeah, no, I'll get it. Let's see.
Oh look, well there you go. Got wood here. Oh, they're round.
Needs to be a bit square. The ends thing.
Yeah.
I think you're more like a garden centre.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Oh look,
What?
potato sack.
Not bad, really, then.
Just so.
Anyway, I don't want to spend £10 on each one of those.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I suppose it is aerated. I'll think about it when I get paid next, because I haven't got to put them in for another 4 or 5 weeks. That's why I put a thing on my phone.
We've got this cute little propagator. Well, that's just it. We need to really think about what we need rather than just.
Yeah, no, I'll get that. Right. So I bought 5 CDs from a charity shop for £1, and I bought this Summer of Love 60s thing, and there's 4 or 5 CDs in there. So it's cost me 20p. Barking.
Let's see what it
plays. I reckon this is a bit of an hurdy-gurdy thing.
This is Austin Powers through and through.
It's not Austin Powers. You're talking rubbish.
I have got the Austin Powers CD somewhere, soundtrack, and on it is Austin's band as he does a few songs. One of them is called like the BBC, and he's like BBC 1, BBC 2, BBC 3. It's so funny.
Actually, this is probably the sort of music they'd have played on Radio Caroline, the pirate station.
Yeah.
Before he got banned.
Yeah. All right, let's head home.
Come on, let's go.